Help support our coverage with a free account on Privacy, the service that keeps you protected when shopping online. Get $5 to try it now by using promo code QZZ2J.
Roland, how you doing, buddy?
I'm well. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Good to see you. And how's CES treating you so far?
So far, really good. Traffic this morning's been very, very busy, which is good.
It's always crazy here.
Absolutely.
Were you able to get here okay this morning?
So we actually jumped out of our Uber early and raced across the street because we were stuck in traffic, but we made it on time.
So yes, I'm sure quite the challenge just running across all the traffic that was here.
Yeah, crossing the street here is not a good idea.
No, it's not. So that's why I was kind of taken aback a little bit when you told me that. It's challenging to say the least.
Indeed.
To get here. And is this your first one?
This is my third CES
Okay.
I've attended.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have a little bit of experience with the amount of traffic.
Absolutely.
And
but I've always been at the convention center. It's my first time being in the expo part.
Yeah.
I mean, not that the traffic's any better over there. But it's my first time here.
I would have to say I actually think it's worse over here because it's such a funnel trying to get into this place, and everybody thinks they're going to beat the system by taking an Uber or whatever, right? And there's no beating the system here. You just either have to come crazy early,
Indeed,
or you just got to put up the traffic. And,
Absolutely
and
right.
that's just how it is. But it's such a great venue. It's such a great experience to be here. So you have some amazing products that you're going to show me the way it looks. It looks like some type of glasses and a sensor. What do we got?
So this is eSight Go, which is the latest version of eSight technology. So what it is a wearable.
Let's take it like
Sure.
so everybody can see it there. There we go.
It's a wearable assistive device for
Okay.
central vision loss.
Okay.
So think diabetic retinopathy, age-related macular degeneration, individuals who've lost their ability to see the central image, but they still have access to their peripheral vision. And we help those individuals gain their central perception back. So for reading, for recognizing faces, watching TV, live sporting events, whatever brings them joy, gardening, they'll be able to see centrally again using this device. It gets really interesting for wearers when their visual acuity is down to about 20/80. You get a real wow factor at that point. If your vision is better than that, we still help, but the value proposition is not as strong.
I see.
If you're 20/80 or worse, you put it on, it's like, wow, I can see again. Up to 2600, we do quite well, and then the impact drops off again. We still help, but we won't be getting you down to reading at the 20/20 line on a Snellen chart. But many of our users, are legally blind, and with the use of the device, they'll read, they'll watch TV, they'll see faces, play cards, garden, and the way this is designed as well, not only for your central vision, but we don't block your peripheral vision. So when you wear it, you still have access to your peripheral vision below and beside the glasses. So it has a couple of advantages. First of all, you don't have any motion sickness because you always have those peripheral cues that your brain can use to equalize. And you also can be mobile with it. So when you're afflicted with central vision loss, you use your peripheral vision to navigate. So if I'm walking around the floor here, I'd be using my peripheral vision to walk down the aisle, and I come up to you, and I know you're there, but I don't know who you are because I can't see your face. Now I could use the camera momentarily and recognize you. Hey, how you doing? Or if I'm watching TV or I'm reading, then I use the camera full time to get that central perception on an ongoing basis.
This sounds incredible.
Mm-hmm. It really is.
I mean,
the human impact is unreal.
You seem so matter-of-factly about this. I'm just like, holy snikes is what I'm thinking to myself. So you wear the glasses. What is this device here then?
This part here is the battery. One of the ways we drastically reduce the weight of the headset is to take the battery out of it. And so you wear this comfortably around your neck like a little yoke.
That's very clever.
Gives you about 4 hours of continuous runtime on average use. Of course, the more you manipulate the image, you get more or less battery time. Or if you only have vision in one eye, you can turn one of the monitors off, and then, of course, then you use less battery as well.
Okay.
You can hot swap batteries, so you can, if you're a power user, you need more than 4 hours at a time, you can buy a second battery and just hot swap it and charge one while the other one is in use. But it also comes with a 6-foot cable, so if you are watching TV or reading or you're in a movie theater, you can plug into a wall outlet, and then you have continuous power access.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Interesting. Can you give me like your most endearing case that somebody shared with you about the impact that these have had in their life?
So I'll give you an experience that happened at CES last year that,
Okay.
that still kind of touches me. So we're on the floor, and an elderly gentleman comes up to our booth, and he's asking about our device. And most people think it's a VR goggle when they first see it.
That's actually what I thought right away
Yeah.
when I seen it, yeah.
And so I explained to him what it is, and he said, "Oh, do you mind if I try it?" So he put it on, and he kind of looked around a little bit, and then he put it back on the desk. He said, "Oh, thank you very much," and he walked away. Didn't think really anything of it. Next morning, the show opens at 9 o'clock. First person at the booth is this gentleman again. And he says, "Do you mind if I try that again?" "Sure." So I give him the glasses, we put it on, and he says, "You said I can read with this?" I said, "Yeah." So I gave him something to read, and we dialed the settings in a little bit for him, and I can tell he's reading. I can see his eyes welling up. And he takes the glasses off and puts them down, and he looks at me and says, "You know, I have one regret in life. My mom died in the fall, and I was with her, but I couldn't look her in the eye to say goodbye. With this, I could have done that."
Wow.
He's crying, I'm crying, everyone's crying. So you get that kind of an emotional reaction quite frequently.
That's amazing.
And there's some funny reactions too sometimes. We're doing some user acceptance testing in Florida at a rehab center there that we partner with. And they had two ladies that met in blind rehab, best friends since they met, but never seen each other. They put the device on, and all of a sudden, "Oh my God, there you are!" So you have those kind of reactions as well. But the human impact is wonderful. People go back to their hobbies. They, whether it's gardening or fishing, or playing with their dog, or watching their grandkids play soccer, all those things come back to you. And because we allow you mobility, we give a certain amount of independence back to the individual as well. So now you can go grocery shopping by yourself, because I'll use my peripheral vision to navigate the aisles. But if I want to read a food label or a price tag, I can now do that.
That's quite remarkable.
It really is. So
Yep.
the human impact is wonderful. We have wonderful user stories that we've experienced. We captured some on our website as well. And people, once they get used to the device, it's really interesting because they think, okay, I'm going to buy this because I want to watch TV and read. But all of a sudden they go, well, if I can do this, I'm going to try doing this. And then all of a sudden their world expands again. And it doesn't only impact the person wearing it, because in many cases where you have a spouse that's visually impaired, well, you become the caregiver. Well, with this device, your spouse becomes your spouse again.
Right.
Because you have that, not 100%, but most of your independence back.
Right.
So now you can go back to your normal relationship.
Yeah. That's amazing.
It
That's
really
amazing.
is.
So what's the story behind it? I mean, is there somebody in your company, yourself? I mean, what inspired whoever to create this?
The origin story is a wonderful story. So there was a gentleman, his name was Conrad Lewis, who was an electrical engineer in Ottawa, Canada. And there is a form of macular degeneration that's a juvenile form called Stargardt's disease. And both his sisters had Stargardt's disease. So with Stargardt's disease, you usually start to lose your vision as a teenager, and then by the time you hit your early 20s, you're legally blind centrally. So he just wanted to help his sisters. So being an engineer, he went down to the basement and started tinkering with ideas and became ultimately the eSight Go. But he came up with the concept of using a camera, some software to manipulate an image, using close to eye television screens to get that image to the photoreceptors that are still viable in the retina. And so that's how the company got started. So 2013 was sort of the first prototype that was working. Commercially, we've been available for about 10 years, and this is kind of the 5th generation.
Okay.
I've been shipping this particular product since August, and it's one of those things, every aspect's gotten better. It's gotten smaller, it's gotten lighter, better battery life, better monitors, better resolution. Certainly the cosmetics are much more subtle than they used to be. We used to have a halo design with a big visor. It worked really well, it was comfortable, but a lot of the feedback we got is, it works for me, but I'm not wearing that in public. So when we challenged our engineers to come up with the next generation design, make it look as much like a pair of sunglasses as you possibly can. And I think they've done a pretty good job of doing so, making it small and impactful and subtle and light.
So, again, it's just, I mean, I can tell you over and over again, it's an amazing product. I'm assuming they can hop on eSight website and get these. Is there other places that you can?
Absolutely. So eSightEyewear.com is
Okay.
our website, so you
Okay.
can certainly reach out to us there. We actually have a telehealth program
Oh, okay.
where for a fee, we will ship you a device. It covers our shipping and handling and some insurance. And then we hook you up with one of our coaches. All of our coaches are visually impaired themselves and users of the device, so they're true experts on the technology and its application. They'll coach you depending on what your goals are, and they'll give you some activities to do to reach your goals. Then you can keep it in your home for a couple of days, give it a good test drive, make sure it works for you, because it is an investment. And then if you decide to purchase, you can send it back. We'll send you a brand new one. Or if you decide not to purchase, then you just send it back. And if you purchase one, we take that fee that you paid for the home trial. We credit you towards the purchase as well. So if you purchase, there's
it's really no
extra
risk thing.
Correct.
Yep.
Correct.
Yep.
And we also partner with clinics, so optometry clinics that deal with low vision are obvious targets that we work with. Optometry centers that may not have a low vision service, but they realize they have a huge portion of the patients now getting older and having central vision loss. Some of them also leverage our telehealth, where they can refer the patient to our telehealth program. And we have some distributors as well that deal with assistive devices for the visually impaired as well throughout the United States. And of course, we're always looking for new partners, because we don't have full coverage yet, but we're certainly working to build our network so it can be accessed by anybody everywhere.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, very good. Roland, it's been a pleasure. I wish you all the best with your company. Thank you for changing lives. This is really a remarkable product.
My pleasure. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be a part of it.
Thank you, Roland.
Take
care.
Bye-bye.
The Tech Podcast Network's CES 2025 coverage is executive produced by Adam Barker. Technical director is Kirk Corliss. Associate producers are Nancy Ertz, Tracy Ingram, Xerxes Goddard, Brandy Jackson, and Aviva Cram. Voiceover by Aaron Hurst. Our hosts are Marlo Anderson, Don Bain, and Scott Ertz. Studio and equipment are provided by PLUGHITZ Productions. The TPN studio executive is Todd Cochran. This has been a Tech Podcast Network production, copyright 2025.